I have no issue with the LBGT. I have no problem with with nobody. Okay,
Right.
love who you love, do what you do.
Exactly.
I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman, and it wasn't but two genders, and that's just how I rocked.
Me
now,
too.
You could identify as a goldfish if you feel it.
Right.
I don't
I
care.
agree.
That ain't my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not gonna call you a
Right.
goldfish, but
Exactly.
you want to be a goldfish, you go be a goldfish. It's all good.
Amen.
I mean,
Well said.
it's just, we live in a weird time, man. We do. We live in a time where a person will have a mental breakdown in front of their camera.
Right.
Wait, let me wipe balance. No,
That's crazy, right?
what the hell is that? Like, if you are of sound mind enough to find the light,
Right.
and then break down,
Exactly.
ain't nothing wrong with you.
Right.
Man.
No, there is something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you.
Right.
There ain't nothing wrong with you. Like, man.
Right,
it's just, I
right.
don't know.
You're adding to.
All right, guys. So I stumbled across this video from the R&B star Neo, and he does this interview where he's going to speak on gender ideology, which is a rare moment because you don't see entertainers come out and speak on this subject unless they are agreeing with the mob in the radical left's gender agenda. However, Neo, who is a pop star, is actually going to speak against the radical gender agenda, and it's only a matter of time before he gets canceled, and he is apologizing for making these comments, right? So I want to go ahead and react to this because without question, he is definitely going to be issuing a groveling apology, or the mob is going to demand that he issue a groveling apology for having what I believe is a non-controversial opinion. But apparently this is controversial in 2023. So let's go ahead and react to it, and let's see how long it takes for Neo to retract his statements and to apologize, like most of them end up doing. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Parents have almost forgotten what the role of a parent is.
Amen.
It's like, okay,
Lost control.
if your little boy comes to you and says, "Daddy, I want to be a girl," and you just let him rock with that,
Right.
he's 5.
Right.
No. You don't understand, Neo. You don't understand. Just because he's 5 and he's a child, it doesn't mean that he can't decide his sex and his gender. You must be a bigot, right? He knows better than you do because he's a child, right? This is the argument from the left, right? That's the argument.
Right. And where did he get that
If
from?
you let this 5-year-old boy decide to eat candy all day, he's going to do that.
Exactly.
Like, when did it become a good idea to let a 5-year-old, let a 6-year-old, let a 12-year-old make a life-changing decision for themselves?
Right.
When did that happen?
Right.
Like, I don't understand that. I don't get that.
And to medicate these young kids that are 5, 6 growing up and knowing that it affects their brain. It affects their organs. It makes them sick, but they're not allowed to do drugs. They're not allowed to do alcohol.
Right.
We can medicate them
He
up.
can't drive a car yet, but he can decide his sex.
Right. Oh, right. What sexual orientation, and he can cut up his pee-pee, and that, to me, that makes no sense whatsoever.
I don't know if this is true, but I heard a rumor that they either passed or are trying to pass a law in LA that states if your child comes to you and asks to do some of these things and you say no, they can take your kid from you.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so there's a bill that is working its way through the California legislature to require a judge to be able to consider whether or not a child is transitioning when it comes to custody laws. And we already know how that's going to go, right? Basically, if your child is transitioning and there's a dispute between parents in regards to who should get custody over the child, the parent that is going to allow the child to transition is probably going to have a better chance of retaining custody over the child, right? Again, that's the type of stuff, those are the type of laws that they're passing out there in California, cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world, right? But isn't it amazing that, Neo, who's a father, right? I believe he's a father of many kids, okay? He's saying things out loud I think most people believe. However, they can't because they're afraid of being called names, right? Some type of phobe, especially in the entertainment industry. Right? I mean, again, Neo is pretty big, okay? He's written songs for Rihanna, Beyonce. I mean, he's a big pop star himself with his own music. Again, I'm just wondering how long is it going to take for him to come out and retract this statement and say, hey, you know, I respect everybody. You know, I love the LGBTQ community and I didn't mean to offend anybody by my statements. This is not my area of expertise. I did more studying and reading and I became educated, aka brainwashed on the issue, right? They're going to re-educate him on it, right? That's what happens every time. Again, I'm going to see if this man stands his ground, right? Because he said some stuff now. Then again, the mob is most certainly going to be upset.
Just passed in California.
That makes no sense.
They want us to have no control over our children.
But I don't get it.
In schools,
I don't get it.
Hospitals, libraries.
Yeah.
They just want to manipulate.
Sounds like they've been watching Fox News, right? Sounds like they've been watching my YouTube channel, right-wing media. Again, these white supremacists, right? This is white supremacist talk, right? This is what they'll say. These two people who are obviously not white, okay, having this conversation saying, look, they want to control everything when it comes to our children. Libraries, hospitals, schools, you know, they're pushing all this stuff on kids. Again, they said that this is right-wing, white supremacist, far-right, white nationalist talk, right? Again, I wonder what they're going to say to this. Again, I'm so curious about what the actual reaction is going to be because, again, Neo's pretty big. I'm just saying, I mean, him coming out and saying this is very surprising.
You got to understand when they're so young and they're already, that's
impressionable.
That's right. Mm-hmm. And from them, they're going to believe what you say. I mean, we say Santa Claus is real, you know, the Easter Bunny.
It, like,
right, exactly. Like, they know what they're doing.
Remember who you're dealing with. Like, I can't take credit for it, but I heard somebody say one time, he's like, all right, if your son comes to you and says, Daddy, I want to be a girl. Ask your son, what is a girl?
That's a good one.
What is he going to do? He's going to say, well, he might want to play with dolls. All right, you want to play with dolls. Fine, play with dolls. Right. But you're a boy playing with dolls.
That's right.
I want to wear pink. All right, cool, wear pink. But you're a boy.
That's right.
Wearing pink. No issue with the LBGT. I have no problem with with nobody. Okay?
Right.
Love who you love. Do what you do.
Exactly.
I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman. And it wasn't but two genders. And that's just how I rocked.
That's ancient history right there. Right. Ancient history right there. Now, I'm not sure if I would let my son play with Barbie dolls, right? But, you know, I hear what he's saying, right? You need to be reaffirming your child's sex. That's the only thing you should be reaffirming is that, hey, this is your biological sex. This is who you are. You can, you know, do some things that maybe we might see as traditionally feminine, only to a certain extent, right? But you're still a boy at the end of the day, right? And I think it's important to continue to push that in kids' heads because, again, kids are impressionable. Like you said, we've convinced children that Santa Claus is real, right? That a fat man slides down a chimney and, you know, gives you presents and eat cookies and milk, you know, on Christmas night, and he does it all in one night. Kids don't have enough sense and enough world experience to know that that's literally impossible, right? That's not possible, okay? So if they can't rationalize that Santa Claus or the possibility of Santa Claus is just not, like, it's not real, right? There's no way they can rationalize that you can't switch from being a boy to a girl. You can't switch your biological sex, okay? And that's all the more reason why you have to, you know, live in reality, right? Why you got to keep reaffirming reality.
Me
now,
too.
You could identify as a goldfish if you feel.
Right.
I agree. That ain't my business. It becomes my business when you try to make me play the game with you. I'm not finna call you a goldfish, but you want to be a goldfish, you go be a goldfish. It's all
Amen.
good. It's just, we live in a weird time, man. We do. Trigger warnings. What the hell is a trigger warning?
Yes, exactly.
It's just when I just don't know when the world became so sensitive. Like comedians can't tell jokes no more.
No.
Like, everybody's offended. It's a joke. It's a comedian.
Right.
It's a joke. You're not supposed to take it serious. It's a joke.
Right.
His literal job is to joke.
About everyone.
About everyone and everything. And people want to get offended and like, don't say that. That's triggering. Oh my God. You know what?
Yeah.
Sit in your house by yourself.
Exactly.
It annoys me.
I mean, anything.
Yeah, I agree with Neo. Neo sounds a little based. Okay, I wonder how he votes, right? How do you vote, Neo? Do you vote Democrat? Because if you vote Democrat, then, you know, I'm basically, you know, taking back all of my compliments that I gave you because you're voting for the things that you complain about, right? All this stuff that you're talking about, this is liberalism, okay? This comes with the left side of the aisle. how are you voting? Statistically speaking, as a black man, there's probably an 85% chance if you voted that you voted Democrat, right? So again, I only can, really praise him too much until I know how he votes, because that's what really matters. You can complain about this stuff. Everybody knows that is ridiculous nonsense. But if you come out here and you keep voting Democrat, you're voting for it. You're voting for the nonsense, right? So, hey, again, y'all tell me, how long do you think it will be before Neo issues an apology, before he comes out with some statement clarifying his comments? How long do you think? Okay, I'm giving it a couple days, a couple days, but I hope that he doesn't fold, right? I hope he doesn't back down to the mob. I hope he stands his ground. But hey, I don't know. I doubt it. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.